Howdy everybody, here we are on day, I don't know, 6,493 trillion of the quarantine. Thought I'd bring you another video. You know, when I fly between Snohomish and eastern Washington, it's about 125 miles, and I get to fly over some really unique geological areas. Washington's loaded with them. One of the areas I fly over was created about 2.5 million years ago, what we call the Great Missoula or the Great Spokane Floods. Ice dams in the last ice age over in Montana would build up, create this massive lake. It would let loose every couple million years and wash out across eastern Washington. Places like Dry Falls, the Palisades, and where I'm at in this video, they'd create these 400 to 1,000 foot high waterfalls. Well, needless to say, now they're just these beautiful basalt cliffs. Over the last several months, I've been spotting going, you know, I really bet there's some places down here that I could probably land. It would be blast to go fly over the edge of some of these cliffs. I've done it at very low altitude, and it's really dramatic to watch the ground fall away from you. So, come along on this one as we did find some spots and do some more searching to see if it's going to work out for us. Well, in 190 feet, we'll find out. Well, I got to tell you though, I didn't just fly out here, find what looked like a suitable cliff, land and then fly off of it. I looked at it from the air several times. I actually drove my pickup over to the location one day, drove up to it, walked over several locations, looked at the ground, took some measurements, studied winds, got a better idea of whether it's something I thought I could safely do it. I thought I probably could, but you know what? You always want to reach out to those with more experience than you have. So, who do you call when you want to learn how to fly your airplane over the edge of a cliff? Well, none other than Bobby Breeden. The man, well, they used to call him the kid, but now he's grown into quite the young man. What is he now? A whole 24 years old, maybe 25? Getting old up there, Bobby, getting old. But we all saw his great work with Red Bull and his Super Cub, so I called him up and I said, all right, what do I need to know? And he gave me some good pointers, stuff that I had thought about already, a few things that I hadn't thought about already that did become an issue at this location, mainly the effect of the upslope winds. So big thanks out to Bobby, and it just goes to show, it's not the age, it's not the hours. You know, always ask somebody with more experience than you how you should do something, especially if it's something non-standard. We're trying to push our limits, push our airplane limits, but do it as safely as possible. And that means getting training, whether it is landing on a sandbar your first time, going into a shorter airfield, flying in the mountains, or throwing your 170 over the edge of a cliff.
Hey, Dakota. Good girl. Boy. He's coming back.
Hell yeah. landing on this loose gravel road with the crosswind was actually more difficult than flying off the cliff.
Expected to get as you drove out across the desert today. Hey buddy, how was it? How was it? Did you like it?
Yeah,
I liked it.
It's on the west side of the mountains. So, like, can you
We do a lot of gravel bars. So there's a lot of things.
Well, that was fun. That was a blast. That went a lot easier than I expected on this this first pass. Bouncing around a little bit. I don't know if it's so much off the weeds, not really, but down here in the bottom there's some unevenness, and it was bouncing just a little bit left and right on me, but I mean, I still went off within a foot laterally of where I wanted to. I'll be honest, there's a big upsloping wind right at the end. The winds have picked back up. That airplane would have climbed had I let it. Second time it went even smoother the second time, and I was real pleased with where that went. That was just a lot of fun. You know, do I need to do it? No, I don't need to do it, but it's fun to maximize your airplane, push your skills, push your confidence. This was one of those ones, you know, you had just a little bit of nervousness in your stomach as I was doing it, which is the way it should be. If you're pushing yourself, then you should have that. That nervousness is good. We took lots of precautions. The airplane was super light, burning about 6 gallons here. We're 5 miles from the airport, so we'll go get our fuel and we'll continue the day. Had a good time though. It was neat to have 2 people show up on a dual sport bike, which I also ride, and he's an airport manager history at Boeing Field, and he's like, heck yeah, we want to watch this. So hopefully all the cameras captured some great images. Here's what it looks like from up here. How was that, buddy? Steady good. Whew! What a fun dive. And you can probably hear on the wind here that there's definitely some wind blowing here. Sure wish people wouldn't throw so much junk over the side here. It's obviously been a dump for years. Here it is, looking back up it. So, well, that was fun. That was fun. Yeah. Huge shout out to Tim Burke. He was out riding his motorcycle with his lovely girlfriend, and he coming up the road, he thought he saw a couple glints of sunshine up ahead and got, that almost looks like airplanes. But he told himself, there's no way there'd be airplanes up there. Well, imagine his surprise when he showed up and he found Whitney's 170s parked alongside the edge of the road. He had a great camera, and I want to thank him for a lot of the video that you saw here today and the still images. Absolutely incredible. But what a small world. Tim actually was the assistant airfield manager at Boeing Field, and about 25 years ago, he was sitting in a college aerospace physiology class that I came and spoke at, talking about my ejection and recovery. Looking forward to doing some flying with him and riding some motorcycles with him. Again, thanks for the great video.